Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Officers Academy. Today we are going to discuss the daily current affairs of 26th September. So today we are going to discuss the topics of Special Court in Karnataka orders Lokayukta investigation against CM. So which we have to know under prelims perspective. Next, leader at UN urge world's wealthiest do more on climate. So which we have to know under GS1, also GS2 under geography and international relations. Next, how global warming affects forecasting, so which we have to know under GS3 environment. Next, Hezbollah uses Fadi rockets with more power but little precision against Israel, which we have to know under prelims perspective. Next, Edurnagram Wildlife Sanctuary, which we have to know under terms. Next, we'll be discussing about the editorial analysis. So first topic is about Special Court in Karnataka orders Lokayukta investigation against CM. So why it is in news? Bengaluru Special Court has directed Lokayukta Police to register a criminal case against Karnataka Chief Minister Siddharamaiah and others over alleged illegal allotment of sites worth rupees 56 crore by Mysuru Urban Development Authority to his wife. The case involves charges under the Prevention of Corruption Act and various sections of Indian Penal Code (IPC). So with this we have to know about the Lokayukta. So first we have to know about the historical origin. So Lokayukta is an anti-corruption ombudsman first instituted in Maharashtra in 1971. Next, their appointment. Lokayukta is appointed by the governor after consulting the Chief Justice of High Court and leader of the opposition. Next, their qualifications. Judicial qualifications are mandated in some states. For example, Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, but not in others. Example, Maharashtra and Rajasthan. Next, their jurisdiction varies across states. In some, the chief minister is under the purview. For example, Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat, while in others they are excluded. And we have to know about their powers. The Lokayukta has the judicial powers to conduct inquiries, summon officials, and recommend actions against corrupt practice. However, it does not have punitive power to convict individuals. Next, there are challenges. Jurisdiction, power, and appointment process are not uniform, leading to inefficiencies. In some states, key officials, for example, CM, are excluded from Lokayukta's ambit. Next, their legislation. The Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act 2013 mandated the establishment of Lokayukta but left their powers and scope to state discretion, leading to variations. So next topic is leaders at UN urge world's wealthiest to do more on climate. So why it is in news? And the UN General Assembly, developing nations, especially small island states, urged the wealthiest countries to increase efforts in combating climate change. These vulnerable nations emphasized the need for sustainable actions from major emitters, particularly G20 members, to address the growing climate injustices they face due to global warming. Next, plea from developing nations at the UN. On September 23, developing nations urged the world's richest countries at the UN General Assembly to do more in addressing climate change and its impacts. Leaders from small island states, particularly at risk from rising sea levels, emphasized the need for nations contributing the more to fossil fuel emissions to take stronger action beyond mere lip service. Next, a call for climate action from vulnerable nations. Samoan Natural Resource Minister and Chair of the Alliance of Small Island States questioned the global commitment to protecting vulnerable populations, urging the group of G20 to lead the emissions reductions on climate finance. A representative speaking on behalf of the least developed country bloc highlighted the responsibility of industrialized nations to spearhead climate action. And we have to know also about their growing global inequality and climate impact. It pleas from these nations highlight the disparity between those most responsible for global warming and those bearing the brunt of its consequence, framing climate change as matter of global justice. Next, the renewed commitment to renewable energy. During the same period, major companies and banks pushed for increase in renewable energy capacity with calls for tripling of renewable and nuclear energy investments by 2030, aligning with agreements made at COP28 summit. So with this, we will move on to the next topic, how global warming affects forecasting. So why it is in news? The extreme weather events of 2023 to 2024 highlight the urgency of addressing global warming, with the record temperatures exceeding the 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold. The unpredictability of climate pattern raises concerns about the effectiveness of current climate models, emphasizing the need for improved forecasting techniques and focused projection for future climate scenarios. Next, we have to know about record warming and its impact. The record warming of 2023 to 24 has provided a clear understanding of global warming, showcasing a range of extreme weather events including heat waves, cyclones, floods, droughts, and wildfires. It estimates that indicate that the world has crossed the 1.5 degrees Celsius warming threshold, although this figure is based on a combination of data and climate models. Next, the challenges in weather predictions. The extreme weather patterns observed in 2023 to 24 serve as a reminder of the limitation in predicting weather and climate effectively. The ongoing loss of lives, property, and infrastructure particularly impacts poorer populations who are more vulnerable to such extreme events. Next, unforeseen climate developments. Meteorologists accurately predicted the 2023 El Nino but were surprised by the unprecedented level of the warning due to its combination with previous background warning. The monsoon season has been erratic, leading to droughts in some areas and severe floods in others, while predictions for strong La Nina and hurricane activity have also been inconsistent. Next, the future of climate predictions. The unpredictability of climate phenomena raises questions about the reliability of current prediction models, particularly in light of recent warming trends. Existing models struggle to reproduce past monsoon trends and may not accurately predict future climate patterns. Now, what is the need for the improvement models? There is a crucial need to enhance climate models to improve predictions for various natural phenomena affecting by warming. Advances in technology, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, hold promise for better forecasting. Next, their focused projections. Future climate projections should ideally focus on shorter time frames such as decade of two due to uncertainties and complexities of natural variabilities. It is essential to evaluate the effectiveness and resource allocation for long-term climate projections, particularly towards 2100 amid evolving geopolitical changes. So with this, we'll move on to the next topic. Hezbollah uses Fadi rockets with more power but little precision against Israel. So why it is in news? Hezbollah has employed fire rockets in response to Israel attacks, marking their first use since the escalation conflict in Gaza, raising concerns about their destructive potential and precision. So, we have to know about the rocket detailedly. This rocket is a tactical multi-use ground-to-ground rocket used by Hezbollah against Israel. It has more explosive power and range compared to previously deployed rockets but lacks precision. Hezbollah first utilized these rockets in response to Israel attacks after the outbreak of conflict in Gaza, October 2023. The rocket is named after Fadi Hassan Twail, a Hezbollah militant killed by Israel in 1987. It is similar in design to 302 mm Syrian Khyber rocket, which is based on China's WS-1. Hezbollah is estimated to possess thousands of unguided rockets with ranges from 45 to 200 kilometers. The precision of this rocket is relatively low, often resulting in distances between intended targets and actual impacts. Experts predict an increased frequency of this rocket usage as conflict escalates. Next, we'll be seeing the Etnagaram Wildlife Sanctuary. So why it is in news? A rarest of rare weather phenomenon, the collision of two cyclones has been found to have caused flattering of thousands of trees in the wildlife sanctuary in Mulugu district. So we have to know about this wildlife sanctuary in detail. First, we have to know about their location. The wildlife sanctuary is located near the border of Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, and Telangana in the village of Etunagaram, a tribal village in Mulugu district of Telangana. It is located 100 km from Warangal and 250 km from Hyderabad. It was declared as a wildlife sanctuary in 1952 by Hyderabad Nizam government. It is spread over an area of around 806 square kilometers. Now we have to know the rivers. It has a water source called Dayam which separates the sanctuary into two parts. River Godavari is also passes through it. Next, their flora. The region is covered completely with thick natural vegetation and it falls in the tropical dry deciduous. It is rich in growth of teak, bamboo, and other trees like maduka and terminalia. Next, their fauna. This sanctuary provides shelter to tiger, leopard, panther, wolf, wild dogs, jackals, sloth bear, chausinga, blackbuck, nilgai shamba, spotted deer, and four-horned antelope, etc. The plethora of water in the sanctuary is attributed to the presence of reptiles like famous mugger crocodiles and snakes like cobra, python, and crate. The famous Samakka Sarlama temple is situated inside this sanctuary. So next we'll be seeing the editorial analysis. The topic of our editorial analysis is the misplaced move of one nation, one election. So first we have to know about their context. The article discussed the proposal of stimulus elections in India, examining its political, constitutional and financial implication. It critiques the impact of federalism, savings in election expenses and effects of frequent elections on accountability and development. It also highlights challenges in passing the necessary constitutional amendments. Next, the introduction to simultaneous elections. The idea of holding simultaneous elections to the Lok Sabha, state assemblies, and local bodies was proposed by the Prime Minister of India. Frequent election across various states kept him on the campaign trail, potentially triggering this idea. A high-level committee led by the former President Ramnath Kovind was formed to explore this concept, including several key political and legal figures. The committee submitted its report in March, making it public before the 2024 general election. Simultaneous elections were part of Bharatiya Janata Party election manifesto but did not receive overwhelming voter endorsement due to the absence of majority. Next, the recommendation of the high level committee. The Union Cabinet approved the recommendations making simultaneous elections a nearly actionable policy. In the first phase, Lok Sabha and State Assembly elections will be conducted simultaneously with the local body elections following with 100 days. The key constitutional amendment proposed involves the tenure of assemblies which will lose their fixed 5-year terms to synchronize with the Lok Sabha. Next, the challenges in passing the amendment bill. For the bill to pass, it requires special majority which is support two-thirds of members present and voting. With 362 votes required, the National Democratic Alliance holding around 292 members, the government faces a significant shortfall. Opposition parties are largely proposed to one nation, one election concept, making it challenging for the ruling party to gather the necessary support. Next, their argument for saving in election expenses. One of the main arguments for the simultaneous elections is the potential savings in election expenses. The budget allocation for the Election Commission of India for 2024 general election was rupees 466 crore, which is not a large amount compared to other government expenditures. State governments also incur election related expenses, but overall costs are not considerable enormous. The argument that political party expenses will be saved is weak, as there is no evidence that saved money would be redirected to infrastructure projects. Simultaneous elections were held from 1951 to 1967, but there is no historical proof of political parties using saved election funds for development. Next, the model code of conduct argument. Another argument is the frequent elections dispute. development due to the moral code of conduct being enforced during election periods. However, no empirical evidence supports the claim that frequent elections have slowed development progress. Notably, large policy decisions like demonetization were implemented despite impending elections. Next, impact on federalism. The proposal to curtail the tenure of state assemblies undermines the federal structure of India. Under the constitution, state assemblies are autonomous and their tenure is independent of the Lok Sabha. The Supreme Court Keshavananda Bharati judgment emphasized that federalism is part of India's basic structure which cannot be altered. Forcing synchrony between state and central elections could lead to some assemblies having much shorter terms, contradicting the federal principle. Next, the benefits of frequent elections. Frequent elections ensure elected representatives remain accountable to the people and stay connected with the constituencies. Elections held once every 5 years could lead to representatives becoming disconnected and complacent. Regular elections also provide feedback to governments, allowing them to make midterm corrections based on voter sentiment. Next, we'll be seeing their conclusion. Simultaneous elections could disturb India's federal balance and are rare a pressing issue for ordinary citizens. The risks and challenges associated with the policy outweigh its perceived benefits. So that's all from today's topics. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.